Today we are going to talk about writing linear equations from word problems. So go ahead and write your name and today's date up at the top. So slope-intercept form is the y equals mx plus b. We've been seeing that, since September or October. So we've been working with the slope-intercept form for a while now. So when a word problem involves a constant rate or speed, and a starting amount, the equation can be written in slope-intercept form. So our constant rate is the m, and our starting amount is the b value. So m is your rate, which we also call slope, and our b is what we start with, which is also called our y-intercept. So you attach the rate with the variable, so like mx plus b. Our standard form is ax plus by equals c. So the way that you know you're going to put it in standard form is if you have a word problem that involves two variables that do not depend on each other. I mean, they do depend on each other, but at first, all you know is that we have, let's say, 5 pennies and 10 nickels, or whatever. Or you know that a nickel is worth 5 cents, a dime is worth 10 cents. That's all you know. And they are going to be added or subtracted to get a total amount. So an example of this one is your school is sponsoring a pancake dinner to raise money for a field trip. You estimate that 200 adults and 250 children will attend. Let X represent the cost of an adult ticket and Y represent the cost of a child ticket. Write an equation that can be used to find what ticket price should be set in order to raise $3,800. So see how 200 is the number of adults, so underline 200. And 250 is the children. So there's 250 children, 200 adults. And then we have the variable X is the cost of an adult ticket. Underline these with me. And Y is the cost of a child ticket. So you're going to match a number with one of the variables. So with 200 adults is X. So 200X. So put X above adults. X is your number of tickets that the adults buy. 250 children. So it says Y represents the cost of a child ticket. So put Y next to 250. So 200X, 250Y. It says write an equation to find if they raise $3,800. So this is your total. So the cost times the 200 and then the cost for the children's ticket times 250 is going to give us a total of $3,800. So here's how we write the equation. 200X, so that came from 200 adults, plus 250Y, that came from 250 children, equals 3,800. So we have an equation set up. All right, let's go to the inside. So we have some problems on here. So what I'm going to have you do is work with your table group to go through each one of these problems. Notice that it tells you to write an equation first, and then it asks two other questions. So the first thing will be, what is the equation? On each one of these. And then after that, you're going to answer questions using the equation. Same thing here. Write an equation. This says write and graph. We're not graphing. Just write an equation. This one says write an equation. This one down here says write an equation. So I'm going to give you time to work with your table groups on this. So pause the video if you're at home. So hopefully you had enough time to go through those 4 problems. I'm going to go through them with you now. All right, so number 1, we have a starting amount and a rate. So whenever we have a starting amount and a rate, remember we're doing that slope-intercept form. So our rate is 30, so it's 30x plus our starting amount. To find the cost for renting for 6 hours, we would need to substitute in the 6 for x, which is your number of hours. And it comes out to be 200. And make sure, since this is a word problem, you're writing your answer in sentences. So it costs $200 to rent a canoe for 6 hours. Something like that. Doesn't have to be exact. Okay, the next one. How many hours did Jessica rent the canoe if she spent $260? So a way of doing this So what I did instead of the guess and check method that I saw several of y'all doing was I actually plugged in the amount, the 260, and I solved it for the number of hours. Guess and check method is just fine though, especially if you have a problem like this on the EOC and you have answer choices. You're going to plug those in and see which comes out with the correct 260. So in words, it costs $260 to rent the canoe for 8 hours. Okay, the next one. Suppose the water level is at 34 and it's receding at a rate of half a foot per day. So the word receding means it's decreasing, it's going down. So I used y and x, but it could have also been written like it asked for. So it says water level L, so that is L equals 34 minus 0.5 times D. But I did see a lot of y'all doing this, which is perfectly fine. L equals negative 0.5 D plus 34. Both of these are the same. What is the water level in feet after 3 days? So we substitute in 3 for D or 3 for X. It comes out to 32.5. So after 3 days, the water level is 32.5. How many days will the water level be? How many days will the water level be? 26 feet. So what I did was I actually solved it out. I said the water level L is 26. 34 is what we start with, minus the half X. So I found that going from 34 to 26 was 8. And then 8 divided by how much per day, 0.5, will give us 16. So after 16 days, the water level is 26 feet. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next one. Number 3 is talking about cinnamon rolls and cupcakes. Yeah. So number of cupcakes is X. So X is going to go with the 3. So I write that in my paragraph. Cinnamon rolls is Y. So I write that next to 5. And then our total is 30. So then you're able to write your equation. 3x plus 5y equals 30. If she bought 5 cupcakes, how many cinnamon rolls did she buy? So 5 cupcakes, that means I'm going to substitute in 5 for x. Because we're talking about 5 cupcakes, so that's x. So 3 times 5 plus 5 times y equals 30. Substitute in and solve it. And a lot of y'all, I see that y'all are working in your calculators a lot, which is great. Using those calculators. Just make sure you're also showing some kind of work here. So whenever you solve it out, we know 3 times 5 is 15 plus the 5y equals 30. We would solve this. We'd subtract 15 on both sides. Then we get 5y equals 15. Then we would divide by 5, and y is 3. And cinnamon rolls is 3. So the next time I see y'all in class, we're going to do number 4 together, and then you'll have an assignment to work on. No homework today.